Imagine for a moment just being able to walk right out of a client meeting and your Ambient AI device already has a follow up drafted and key deadlines flagged, or maybe you come out of a deposition and your AI has already analyzed the transcript of the deposition to find inconsistencies or risky language. Well, welcome back to Legal Marketing Minutes, where I share short bursts of current marketing news and advice. I'm your host, Nancy Merland. If we haven't met, I'm a marketing and business development advisor specializing in content, social, and digital media. That means lots of LinkedIn training, podcast launches, AI discernment, virtual video presentation coaching, and so much more. Anyhow, we're here to talk about artificial intelligence definitions, and today we're going to start with Ambient AI. Your time is valuable, so let's get started. I think this is something that you and I need to know about, so I want to share this with you so that you're aware of it. It's already showing up in the world, and it matters to the work that you and I are doing, as well as the people we serve. Well, what is Ambient AI? It's artificial intelligence that is always on. It's quietly listening, it's observing, and it's supporting you in the background. It's more proactive. It looks at the context, where you are, what you're doing, what you're working on. It takes in the world around you, and it's becoming more common by the day. It's becoming smarter by the day. And here's an example that might hit home. When you go to the doctor and you notice that your doctor is constantly typing notes on a keyboard and looking at a monitor and not necessarily able to pay as much attention to you as you wish your doctor would. And so, what some of them are doing, probably many of them will do in the future, is that now they can listen to you using an ambient AI device so that they can listen to you during your visit. And while paying attention to you, their ambient AI device or tool can automatically transcribe your conversation. It can summarize the diagnosis that it sees or that the doctor mentions, and it can update your chart. And the benefit of that is what I mentioned a moment ago. They can stop staring at a screen and actually be present with you and for you, listening more closely to what you're talking about, the concerns you have, the symptoms you've mentioned or reported to a medical assistant prior to the doctor's arrival. Then your doctor can ask better questions. They can think through them and provide more thoughtful care. Now, you'll always hear me say that there has to be a human in the loop until the day comes when the results are 100% perfect. And in this example that I gave you, a doctor still needs to go in and review what that output is. A human needs to be in the loop. Now picture that same tech inside of a law firm. In fact, some firms are already experimenting with something as basic as practice management systems that have built-in ambient features that capture and organize client conversations. Let's imagine what could happen at the next level of ambient AI. Let's say that a lawyer walks out of a client meeting and the AI already has a follow-up email drafted that summarizes or reacts to what was just discussed. It might have already summarized next steps and key deadlines for you or for your clients and created a team debrief document if you have asked it to do so. It won't do things unless you've given it permission to do so. Or if you've asked it to be creative and to think of additional ways, then it can do that. It will be able to do that. Well, artificial intelligence will also be able to analyze your conversations for inconsistencies or risky language or risk, period. And perhaps it'll do this via smart glasses or even earbuds that can also quietly feed relevant cases or talking points into your line of sight or your ear while you're speaking. I went to the Women and AI conference in Nashville at the Vanderbilt Law School a handful of months ago, and one of our presenters told us after she was finished presenting that she had been able to see her slides in her glasses. And she didn't have to look down. She didn't have to look to the side to be reminded on the confidence monitor what needed to come next. She told us this, again, after she was finished because she's probably smart enough to know we would have all been staring at her trying to figure out how it worked. And we did. She told us afterwards that she saw her entire PowerPoint presentation. I know I wanted to try it. All of us did. And we kept asking a lot of questions about it. So obviously, ambient AI and predecessors to it are already in use and always on wearable or nearby devices are going to dramatically expand all the capabilities that I just mentioned. I've just scraped really the surface of what would be possible. And I don't want you to assume that this is far off. As you've probably heard, OpenAI and Sam Altman, CEO, just acquired the design firm owned and co-founded by a man named Jony Ive. He's the same product designer behind Apple's most iconic devices, if you will. Those of you who are Apple people, you will understand how important the innovative design is behind Apple devices. They're known for this, and Jony Ive is the one behind all of that design. Well, OpenAI, which is the parent company of ChatGPT, just purchased his company for several $billions. So they're serious about coming up with an ambient device. They want him to help them develop that device. And I just watched a video about him not too long ago where the person said that Jony is the only one that's ever designed Apple devices that people actually liked to look at. And so now he's employed by OpenAI to help Sam Altman do what Sam has wanted to do for a long time, and that's design a device that is or can be with us all the time to help us organize our business and personal life, whatever we choose. And Johnny's going to help him do this. And they're working very quietly in the background. And Sam has said that it's going to be a while because he wants to get it right. The investment has been huge in actual human resources, in people, in the innovators behind this, Jony Ive and his group. And so he said maybe a year or so, but he said it's going to be very special. And it's an entirely new kind of AI product. It's not a phone, it won't be a laptop, but it's going to be some kind of a small, either wearable or even something that could go in your pocket or maybe even pin on you. I don't know what it's going to look like yet, but they're being really good about keeping the details inside, but it can always be on unless you turn it off, and it will interact with you ambiently. So think about, things that smart glasses or AI-powered earbuds, a smooth stone even. So what does all that mean for the legal profession? Well, it means that we're moving from search and respond to overseeing and assisting, which is much quicker and more proactive than what we have now. It's a different way of doing business and gaining information. And that's pretty powerful, but it also holds a bit of risk because it is unknown. And early adopters who implement these tools thoughtfully could, there's no certainty, but could gain significant efficiency advantages and speed over competitors who are still buried in manual note-taking and follow-up tasks. Again, I always go back to, for the foreseeable future, we need to have a human in the loop to make sure the information and recommendations are truthful and accurate and don't contain hallucinations. I might think differently in the future because what happens is that if something is always on, it's always listening. And in our profession, that raises huge questions about confidentiality, client consent, and ethics. And you have to know as a lawyer where your data is going, who has access to it, and whether your tools are compliant with the obligations that we all carry. And yes, I say we all because even though I'm not a lawyer, I'm often someone who is working on your behalf. So I'm bound by those ethical obligations on your behalf as well. Several state bar associations are already developing guidance on AI transcription technologies. So just stay tuned for those updates. So what is the takeaway here? Well, it's that ambient AI isn't just coming, it's here and it's only going to grow. The question is whether your firm will be ready to use it wisely or if you are even aware that this exists or will exist. A good place for you to start is probably just to start thinking about what routine tasks and conversations in your day involve the most manual note-taking or follow-up work. And those are probably the best candidates for ambient AI solutions and certainly for AI use generally. And these tools and changes are going to come at you, at all of us, very fast. And you're going to have all kinds of providers introducing their solutions to you that they think you should take advantage of. And I know I'm really curious what Sam Altman and OpenAI are going to come out with now that they have Jony Ive on board. I want to know what they have up their sleeve. I would like to do some more of these definitions that are within artificial intelligence, but I'd like for you to let me know. I'm trying to figure out the best way to distribute these to you, possibly within a private community dedicated to those who are interested in learning more about AI. So let me know what you think about that idea. All right, that's it for today's Legal Marketing Minutes. If you're in a place where you can comment, please do so, as I'd love to hear from you. If not, go ahead and email me at nancy@myrlandmarketing.com, and that's MYRLAND marketing.com. All right, I'll see you next time. Let me know if I can help you. Take care.